Hello everyone, my name is Ikwan Rosli. I'm the Global Category Manager for BP. Is an international fleet approach more efficient than a local one? Right. Before I jump into the question, I would like to share about BP fleet landscape. BP is an integrated energy company with businesses in more than 60 countries. BP is growing its business into renewable energy and the traditional hydrocarbon. Within BP fleet, there's no single global owner. We do have about 6,000 vehicles across the globe. From the map, you can see that our vehicles are scattered across the globe in all regions. Majority of our vehicles are for business usage. There are some management benefits and a handful salary sacrifice in certain countries such as the UK and Australia. There are several global policies such as driving safety and vehicle specifications. However, the entitlement and budget are local policy. Fleet ordering are done locally. Before you embark into international fleet or local fleet strategy, there are several considerations that you need to understand. So within BP, when we go into this journey back in 2019, we look into these three groupings. One, understanding the data. We identified all our stakeholders. We interviewed all our stakeholders, try to understand what are their current pain points within the process, and what makes them happy as a stakeholder within fleet process and operations. We try to understand our current fleet profile, looking at the type of vehicles that we are buying, from who we are buying, who we are leasing it, what type of finance model that we are using, and the purpose of the vehicles. We also try to understand the future demands for the next 3, 5, and 10 years. Once we understand the data, the next one is very important is to understand the market. So we explore the market, looking at our incumbent and current OEM and leasing companies. We also look at other potential suppliers that is available in the market that we might not have currently been using in them, but potentially would help in our strategy. Within the suppliers, we explore their local coverage against our business operations. So we check their coverage against our operations. We also check the suppliers' local service standards by interviewing certain of their customers. We try to understand the risk and opportunity of both strategy of local and global. We also explore ability of having a company or suppliers that will be able to churn out global reporting. At the end of the day, we need to understand what is available in the market, what are our options in going into international or local strategy. Then the last one, very important, we also need to understand the controls and benefits. We try to identify within BP a global sponsor. We try to agree on the ways of working at the local and global level. We set the importance of governance and escalation process. We identify the SLA and KPI at both global, regional, and also local level. The SLA and KPI at global level might be a different set of SLA and KPI compared to the local ones, which is more driven by operation, while the global one more strategic with the supplier performance. Then we also explore data reporting capabilities for both local and global report. Right. Now, let's look at some of the benefits and challenges in international fleet strategy that I have experienced. So within BP, we did go for international fleet, but only for about 85% of our spend. Within BP, we managed to centralize 85% of our fleet data. Centralizing data management helps to provide us a comprehensive view of the entire fleet, making it easier to analyze data and identify cost savings opportunities through analytics. Useful for both global and local fleet managers to construct their strategic decision. We become more agile through the ability to coordinate and prioritize global initiatives. We require less resources to manage fleet within BP, and we rely heavily on our preferred partners, right? So it is very important for you to find the right partner. We allow some form of standardization, especially on the car brands, the powertrains, the vehicle segments and policies, and we adapt the best practices across a wider geography. We ensure through standardization, we ensure uniformity and consistency across the entire organization, making it easier to implement policies, procedures, and safety standards. However, I would caution not to over standardize. as it will impact or can impact your ability to become agile and making it difficult to adapt to local conditions. I would suggest to start with minimum standards and leave room for exception. Standardization also allows for an effective supplier management and standard contract structure. Through centralization, I've managed to reduce the number of suppliers and create a better relationship with them. I also able to gain more value from my spend. Saving initiatives can be driven much more easily, and from centralized data, I was able to negotiate a better term with my OEM. I was able to also do bulk purchasing and negotiate global contracts that can lead to cost savings as you can leverage economies of scale. Global fleet strategy allows me to ensure proper cost control throughout my organization. For example, I was able to compare the TCO or running costs from one country to another or from one region to another. I was able to compare the vehicle contract terms, like the mileage terms or the useful life of the vehicles from one country to another country, and make a useful conversation with all my stakeholders. Finally, I was able to share experience, cross expertise with all the local country that I'm working for. So this allows all my local fleet managers to understand benefits and do a cross sharing of knowledge and information within their peers. There are some notable challenges that my team face while implementing a global or international fleet strategy. I would highlight the key ones. As per any change, there are bound to be change resistance. Local teams may resist centralized decisions that they don't consider their specific needs or challenges are being addressed. Or maybe they perceive that they have reduced autonomy in the future. That's why in the earlier slide I mentioned that it is very important to understand from your stakeholders what are their pain points and their happy points. I have observed that change resistance is also contributed mainly due to attachment to incumbent suppliers, especially when you have local heroes. Local heroes are the local players that outperform a global supplier in a specific country or location. They know the market very well, and possibly because of their small size organization, they can provide extra and more personalized services to your local team. Local supplier performance is also a challenge that I have experienced. The appointed supplier, global supplier, performance at every country is a mixture. They might be very performing or high level of performance in country A and B, but maybe not so good or not so strong performance in country C. So when you ask for feedback, you will receive mixture of feedback for the same supplier, same global supplier at local level, right? So bear in mind. Communication and local knowledge is also a challenge. In implementing a global strategy, my team do face challenges in local language and juggling different time zones, which end up delaying in response times and lack of local knowledge, especially when it comes to local car specification and local regulations. Car specification, for example, a particular model, car model in Europe may not have the same safety equipment in Asia. So that is a challenge for my team. Thus, it is very important to select the right supplier or partner that you could rely as your trusted partner, as they would be able to provide the correct and the right advice for you at local level for you to make your decision. Finally, please expect that there will be limitation and constraints that you must live with. Not all locations, especially in Asia and Africa, your global supplier would have presence. Or in certain locations, they might have services limited to only certain products. They might not have the entire offering in certain locations. I have also experienced where my global supplier operation in a country is through their affiliates or partners. This pose a risk on supply performance and also a question mark on the ability to follow the agreed global terms that you have negotiated much earlier. So with these benefit and challenges, my team still proceed with international global strategy with about 85% with our global partners and the balance at local level due to the limitation, exceptions, and constraints. In summary, Through my journey, BP has achieved all the mentioned benefits. We have greater relationship with our preferred partners. We have more visibility on our fleet data. Our day-to-day operations are more efficient due to standardization. And of course, we are seeing a lot of savings and values from the strategy. Key takeaway for you is to look at your own organization, as there is no one size fits all. For me, I need to have balance. We end up with 85% global and balance locally. And we go through a hybrid model. So for now, I hope my sharing is useful for all of you. I wish you all the best in your strategy. Thank you.